Wagwan Mayut. I thought today I'd do a tier list. I don't really feel like doing a rebuild. I pulled up this template of NBA logos, and I'm going to rank them from S through D. S being the best, and D being the worst. Now I'm no professional by any means, so if you don't like my opinion, then it's probably trash anyway. But we got 30 logos to go through, so let's go and get started. Okay, first off, we got the Orlando Magic. This image is kind of old. This is before they rebranded, but I know what their new logo looks like, and I don't know if I really mess with it or not. Kind of like the team itself, the logo's kind of mid, so I think I'm just gonna give it a B, like a low B, high C. It's nothing special. It's just a ball that looks like a shooting star. Dallas Mavericks. I'm not a huge fan of horses, but you know what? You used to see this logo back in the day when Dirk Nowitzki was playing, and you used to get fear in your heart. Or when Luka Doncic was on the Mavericks. I'm not a huge fan of it. I don't really like horses anyway, so it's going into C tier. Now the Denver Nuggets. I like this one because it's creative. You know, you got the names of the Nuggets, and then you got the pickaxes, which mine's gold. Then you got the basketball in the middle right here, and you got the mountain right here because it's the Mile High City. Now that is a creative ass logo. I'm not even gonna lie. Based off of that, it's going right in A. Pistons. I think it's basic. I think the old one when Andre Drummond was playing was better. But I think that the Magic. I think the Mavericks logo is better. So I'm gonna put it in C tier right behind the Mavericks. The Pelicans. Now you don't see a lot of Of course, there's a lot of teams named after animals, but you don't really see a lot of teams called the Pelicans. Obviously, you got like the Wings and stuff, and it's holding the basketball, and you got the little saint thing up here from New Orleans. I'm, what's it called, the City Edition thing where they have the court. It's like the Pelicans has bones in place of its wings, and it's all dark and stuff. I mess with that. I think I'm gonna put this in low A, right behind the Nuggets. Brooklyn is it. Do I even need to explain it? It's basic, dude. Basketball, Brooklyn. There's nothing really to talk about there, so let's move on ahead. The Hawks. Now, I think the old logo is better when it was tilted upwards, which is the case for a lot of these logos. But the Hawk's a pretty cool animal. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't see a basketball in the logo. I think this is one of the only teams that doesn't have a basketball in their logo. I think I'm going to put it in B, right behind the Magic. Pacers, whole basketball thing. Hoosier basketball. I don't really mess with it too much. D tier. Timberwolves. Now this logo is fire, dude. I mean, look at this. You got the wolf howling, and then you got the basketball right behind it, and it looks like there's a little star over there, dude. If you see this logo, you think of guys like Kevin Garnett, Anthony Edwards, Zach LaVine, at the time Andrew Wiggins. Immediate S tier. Probably going to be the only S tier. I'm going to predict, but I could be wrong. Now, this team is as old as time itself, the New York Knicks. I like how the font of the text is, where it looks like it's kind of popping out, or it's wrapping around. I mess with it heavy. Put it in A. Really like the logo. Now, Cleveland, I know their actual logo nowadays because this was updated 2024. It's just a C. So I'm gonna go based off of that. It's terrible. All it is a C. No, nothing interesting. Nothing that gets you excited about wanting to watch Cleveland basketball. I mean, didn't Lonzo Ball say when he first got traded there that he didn't even know they had running water? LeBron made this team. Now Miami. Let me tell you something about Miami. I'm going to put it in B tier, right ahead of the Magic. I think this is the better Florida team. I think the Heat are better than the Magic, and it is apparent by how their logo is styled. I mean, you got a basketball meteor that's on fire going through a hoop. I like the creativity. I really enjoy the creativity. I like the artwork, especially when you look at the court and it's a big red flaming basketball. It's so cool. Wizards, I'm gonna put it in C. It's nothing really. You see the Lincoln Memorial, I think that is, in the logo, and there's a star at the top, and red, white, and blue because it's the capital of the nation of the United States of America. Now, I like the old logo better when it comes to the Wizards, and it took me a long time to realize this. I only realized it this year that the Wizards logo, the old one, was actually a wizard. I thought it was just like a dude holding a torch or something, but dude, it was a wizard. But the new one, I'm gonna put in C. Now the Raptors, I'm gonna put the Raptors in A. I looked at the backstory behind the Raptors, and when they were creating their new team, when it was an expansion team in the '90s, a lot of Toronto fan or a lot of people from Toronto were fans of Jurassic Park, I guess, or Jurassic Park was very popular at the time, either one. So they decided to have the Raptors, or name it the Raptors after the dinosaur, and then it looks like a velociraptor just ripped its claw through the basketball. And even the old style, where they have the dinosaur dribbling the basketball, and even on the City Edition ones, where they have the dinosaur going for a dunk like it's Vince Carter. Now I still mess with the new logo because of the rips. I'm gonna put it in A. The Warriors put it. I'm gonna put it in. I'm gonna put it in C, but I'm gonna put it between the Mavericks and the Pistons. It's just a Bay Bridge. I like the old logo. Well, it was never a logo, but I like the City Editions one where it says the town better. Now this is the old Jazz logo. The new one is just a. It looks like a J. This whole thing. I don't mess with it too much. Every time I see this team, I want to puke. So it's going right in D. Houston Rockets. I'm gonna put this in B, right ahead of the Magic. I mean, I like the R. I like the fact there's a hoop right here. I really, there's not too much to say, but I think it's good. Sacramento Kings. I'm gonna put it in. I mean, it's not too terribly bad. I think I'll put it in C. Actually, no, I'll put it in B, right ahead of the Mavericks, but behind the Hawks. I like the crown on top. What you got the ridges, whatever they're called. My bad, y'all. Somebody walked in. So that was talking about the Kings. Okay, ahead of the Mavericks, but right behind the Hawks. I like the little thistles. I think they're called on top, and the little basketball. It has like a wave on the bottom. I mess with the design. It's just not a very good team. The roster right now is terrible. Oklahoma City. I like these little lines going through the logo. Again, the text looks like it's popping out, and the it doesn't have thunder on top anymore. I think that was back during the Russell Westbrook and Kevin Durant days. But even then, I think it is a good looking logo. So I'm going to be putting it in A. This looks kind of, as I look at this tier list, it looks kind of symmetrical. Bucks, I'm going to put it in S. No doubt. Fear the deer. The deer looks so tough. You you see the deer and you instantly, without question, think of Giannis Antetokounmpo, one of the best to ever do it, possibly the best and greatest Milwaukee Buck ever. If you want to put him against Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, he's definitely competing for number one. You look at the eyes, you get a little bit scared. You might pee your pants a little. So I'm gonna put in S. Trailblazers, I don't think I terribly mess with it too much. I don't even know what this is supposed to be, but I do know that Portland's nickname is Rip City. I don't really get it. I might have to do some more research, but it goes in D tier for now. Now this is the old Clippers logo. With logos like these, I'm gonna go with the new ones. They did a whole rebrand. I think it was last year. They got a new arena. They got new jerseys. They got a new logo. It's the cruise ship, and I like it. The whole tongue-in-cheek thing about the ship championship. So because of its creativity, and because of the whole rebrand thing, I'm gonna be putting it in B. I'm gonna put it right behind the Rockets. I think that's fair. Hornets. Now, if the team was good, I think the logo would have a lot more meaning and it would look more threatening. I like the design. The team for a long time has been god awful, but lately they've been picking it up. Thank you, Conkin-Nipple. But going purely off of design, I mess with it. I like the little stinger on the bottom, the Hornets, Buzz City. You know what? I think I'm gonna move the Kings down to C, and I'll move the Hornets up to B. I mess with the Hornets more than the Kings logo wise. Now we go with the oldie but goldie, the purple and gold, the Los Angeles Lakers. Now again, this is one of the oldest teams in the franchise alongside the New York Knicks. It's it's not too terribly complicated of a logo. You got a basketball, you got the Los Angeles Lakers, but it looks like there's wind, like a gust of wind came along the way while they were doing this logo, and it pushed some of the ink that hadn't dried, and the R's going like that. I mess with it. I think it's pretty cool. I think it's gonna be right. I think it's gonna be at the very top of B tier. Now the Spurs, I'm putting in S because again, you see this logo and you think of some of the all-time greats. You think of Tim Duncan. You think of David Robinson, Manu Ginobili, Tony Parker. You think of Kawhi Leonard. You think of Victor Wembanyama, Stephon Castle, Dylan Harper. All these great guys who have played for a great organization, and the logo makes you think about that organization, what they do, and why it's important to them, which is why I think it will be going into the S tier for now. The Grizzlies is definitely going to be going in A. I like the logo. I like the bear. Grizzlies, of course. I think the old logo when they were in Vancouver was pretty cool too. It was a lot more detailed, but I think both are pretty cool. Obviously, you move to a new city, you got to rebrand your whole identity pretty much. When you go from a city on the west coast of Canada to a city that is probably in the heart of the South. But I enjoy it. I think I like the shadow right here. Bulls, definitely going in S. Now, I mean, it's a bull. No explanation needed. But you see a bull and you hear the music. MJ, Pippen, Rodman. Do I need to say more? Players would crap themselves on the court whenever they saw that logo and that song because they knew they were going up against the greatest and some of his best teammates ever. S tier. Now, Philadelphia, I know it's Liberty because of the Liberty Bell and all that. It's the whole vibe I get from this. I like the 13 stars at the top because of the 13 colonies of America. I think I might be putting it in. I think I'll put it between the Clippers and the Magic in D tier. Now the Suns, I like this logo. I'm putting it right ahead of the Grizzlies. It's going upwards. It's a basketball surrounded by the sun, sunshine. Phoenix is a hot area in Arizona. I think of Devin Booker. He was a great player. I wish he'd win a championship, but that's probably not going to happen anytime soon. I mess with the whole vibe of it. And the final logo we're going to be rating is the one of the Boston Celtics, another one of the oldest teams in the league. This team has a lot of history. Many great players that played for this team, just to name a few, like Bill Russell, Larry Bird, Kevin McHale, Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, those kind of guys. I like the little guy dressed up as a leprechaun with the cane twirling the basketball on his finger. I mess with this. Definitely going to be putting it between the Pelicans and the Knicks in A tier. So after finishing this, we see that there are only 4 teams in the S tier. You got the Timberwolves, the Bucks, the Spurs, and the Bulls. All for their own respective reasons. Ja Morant's injured. Great. Well, that's pretty much going to wrap up the tier list. I don't really think I have anything more to say about these logos and these teams. If you agree with the rating, or if you have a different opinion, if you think that I should have put a different team in a different tier, or if you think that I did your team dirty with how I rated their logo, feel free to let me know in the comments. That's going to be all for tonight. I'll see you later.